We once again interrupt this program to bring you another discussion video. Now, today's video was supposed to be about the Joker, based on a fan's suggestion. However, we got three or four suggestions or requests asking for Batman, for me to pick who I think is the best Batman. Now, as you remember, last video, I basically said that none of the Spider-Mans are the best Spider-Man, but if I had to pick one, it would be Tom Holland. So this one, I have to say the same thing. None of the Batmans are the best Batmans, but if I have to pick one, you'll see my choice at the end. Now, there are a few rules here that I am going to use to keep the video from going for 30 minutes long. So, rule number one, I am not using, we're going only live action. So that means only, so basically no Kevin Conroy, because we all know he is the actual best Batman. Another rule is that I'm only using the 5 main Batman characters that people talk about the most. Let's face it, nobody knows or really talks about the 2 Batmans that played before Adam West, and nobody really talks about Val Kilmer that much. He was only in one movie, it wasn't that memorable. His Batmobile was, but the rest of the movie and everything, I don't even remember who the bad guy was. I think. Was it Riddler? I believe it was Riddler. Riddler and Two-Face was the bad guys in the Val Kilmer, because Michael Keaton was with Joker and Catwoman. So yes, that is right. Okay. But man, that was a while ago too. Anyway, so I'm only going for 5. I'm also not including the kid from Gotham. We're not including him as well. We're just talking about Adam West, Ben Affleck, Christian Bale, Michael Keaton, and George Clooney. There's a reason why George Clooney is in this list. So let's get started. First up is obviously going to be, well, you know what? I'm going to go the other way around. I'm going to start with Christian Bale. Now, everybody is going to probably not like me for this. A lot of people are not going to like this. Christian Bale was a terrible Batman. Now, before you click off the video, allow me to explain. A lot of people say that they enjoyed this Batman because he was the most realistic, because it was a good story, because it was, it was great action. And while all that is true, while all that is fine and dandy, while all that is great, this Batman is not a good Batman. First of all, Batman's not meant to be realistic. He's a superhero. He's not even really a superhero. He's a vigilante, but he's a vigilante in a world where an alien crashed to Earth and was raised in Kansas and then flies around in a red and blue outfit. He's a vigilante in a world where a man in red spandex, in some cases, in other cases it's something different, at super speeds to the point where he can go faster than the speed of sound. He's a vigilante in a world where there is an Amazon island of just women. No men are supposed to be on this island. And one of them decided to leave and become Wonder Woman. You can't take Batman out of a comic book era and turn him into Bat Cop. A lot of people who don't like that Spider Cop, well, I believe that that's what Spider-Man was doing. I think that Spider-Man PS4 was making fun of Christopher Nolan. That's his name. I don't even remember the guy's name. I don't like the series so much. Christopher Nolan. Because that is what Batman was. He was a bat outfitted cop. He didn't have as much gadgets as the Batman usually have. Now, while what I just said is true, I do think he has had the most gadgets as Batman. I think he had more. He definitely had more than Affleck. He definitely had more than Clooney. I mean, Adam West had the shark repellent, so, you know, there's that. And I don't know about Keaton, but, I mean, I don't think he had more. Keaton had a pretty high amount of gadgets, actually. Keaton might have Bale beat, but still, I just don't like that he was turned into a cop, a vigilante that was too realistic. It was too realistic. This is a comic book character. It's not supposed to be or meant to be realistic. And to top it all up, Christian Bale cannot fight. The fighting for this character, I'm gonna go on for a while about this. We're already 6 minutes in, and I'm just on this one character. The fighting for Batman is just, he looks like he's boxing. Batman is not a boxer. Batman is a martial artist. So, for me, the only things that they really got right with the Nolan verse is the Joker. The Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker was great, but that is another video. In fact, that is the next video. Alright, so, that's my opinion on Bale. Is he the worst? Probably not. To me, no, he's not the worst. We'll get to the worst. Is he the best? Definitely not. I don't understand how people can put him as the best Batman when he's really just a cop. A glorified cop in a batsuit. That's my opinion on Bale. Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton is who I consider the classic Batman. A lot of people say, no, Adam West. No, Adam West. No, Adam West. Classic Batman. Original, real Batman. I'm sorry. Michael Keaton has him beat. Michael Keaton was the first one to actually go down that dark side of being Batman. He was the first one to really go into the comic book version that wasn't all funny and happy joy. He lived in a town full of criminals and crime. Catwoman was seductive, but she was a killer. These people actually killed people in the movie. That's what Batman is. That's what Batman's characters are. So Michael Keaton's Batman, in my opinion, was the classic Batman. Was he the best to me? No. Because while Michael Keaton's Batman was classic, Michael Keaton wasn't much of a fighter. Now, I know a lot of people are wondering, like, why do I keep bringing up the fighting? It's because Batman had so many different martial arts that he knew that he could probably beat if he was a actual real person. If a real Batman was out here, I believe he could beat Jackie Chan, Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee. He could beat any of those people because he knew everything. So But with Michael Keaton, it was more like he would dodge, punch hard enough to knock somebody out, dodge a few more times, punch someone else to knock somebody out. Oh, that he can't punch this person out, he used the Batmobile gadget to knock them out. It was just, he was using his smarts. He was using his smarts in battle. Another thing I didn't really like about Keaton's, that he wasn't as much of a detective. He was not really like tech savvy, and he wasn't very much of a detective. All his gadgets looked like toys. I guess that's my opinion. Now, Clooney Batman sucks. As just, he is the worst Batman. That is just fact. Everybody says it. However, when a person does something in a movie that's good, but the movie is bad, that person is usually overlooked. That thing they do is usually overlooked. And what I want to point out is that while he was the worst Batman, he was the best Bruce Wayne. I don't care what any of you people say. You can say whatever you want. George Clooney looked the part of Bruce Wayne. He dressed the part of Bruce Wayne. He was the ladies' man that Bruce Wayne was. He flaunted his money. He flaunted his good looks. He flaunted who he was. He threw his name and his company out at all times. He was, and most importantly, something that every other Batman in the movies has gotten wrong. He was not brooding. He did not brood while he was Bruce Wayne. Now, the problem there is that he did not brood either when he was Batman, so there's that. Now let's get to Adam West. First of all, rest in peace, Adam West. Classic to most people. To me, I have to be honest with you guys. I don't like this version of Batman. Like, the TV show, all of it, I can't stomach it. Like, I'm not saying that it's terrible, because it's not terrible. It's a good TV show. It's just so old, classic, old-timey. And for me, you know, I'm still pretty young. I'm only 26. So, this style of TV was never something that appealed to me. So I can't completely judge this because of my bias of not really enjoying this type of TV. So what I'm gonna go by is what most people say. He's a good Batman when it comes to the campy, like, I think it's campy, right? That's the word I'm looking for. I think it's more of like silly, funny. He's the comedy version of Batman. He's the light-hearted version of Batman. He does the most jokes. He smiles. He doesn't change his voice. It's just, he would be what Batman would be if Batman were just an old man that had no, like, he would be what Batman would be if Batman still had parents. There, I said it. I wasn't going to say that, but you know what? He doesn't even act like his parents died, which is the reason why Batman became Batman. Now, I'm sure there's an episode, I can't say I've seen every single episode, because I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't even seen 5 episodes of this Batman. But I'm sure there's one where he grieves over his parents or talks about it or whatever. But it just doesn't show to me. And now we get to who for some reason everybody hates as Batman. Ben Affleck. I don't actually understand this. In my opinion, he is the best. Now, the reason why is because he is closest to the comic book version of Batman. The animated series, the animated movies, the newer ones. This Batman is the fighter, the detective, the gadget wielder. When I look at Ben Affleck Batman, I see the Arkham games. Arkham City, Arkham Knight, Arkham Asylum, Arkham Origins. When I see Ben Affleck Batman, I see that game era. Now, in Justice League, they weakened him. They nerfed him way too much. They nerfed Ben Affleck's Batman way too much. This man just stood completely down to Superman. A man that in BVS absolutely wrecked Superman, just gets tossed to the side like a rag doll in Justice League. I just don't understand that. And I don't understand the hate that he gets. I have to... Oh gosh, there's a screen rant. I just realized that the screen rant... you know what? I'll put their link in the description if I can find it. You know, Screen Rant is a great... it's a great channel. You know, go take a look at Screen Rant if you'd like. But, yeah, for me personally, Batman is Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck is Batman. He is the best version. So if I had to pick a favorite, it would be Ben Affleck. A lot of people take a person who has played a hero in the past in a very terrible movie, and they take that person and they don't forgive him for that role. People never forgave Ben Affleck for Daredevil, even though Daredevil wasn't his fault. He didn't write it, he didn't direct it. Batman is Ben Affleck. I'm sorry. Batman would absolutely destroy in a fight, in a one-on-one fight with any of the other live action, and I mean any of them. Any of the other live action versions of Batman. Ben Affleck's Batman would absolutely destroy. I say if you take away the gadgets, take away the suit. I'll even go as far as that and have them all fight. Ben Affleck would take them all at the same time. Ben Affleck's Batman would take them all at the same time. And that's what I mean. That's the kind of Batman that the DC needed. Now, the problem with DC is that everybody else sucks except for Wonder Woman. I have to be honest with you, in a way, even Joker is questionable. But anyway, that does it for this episode. That was almost 20 minutes long. I wish I could have made it shorter, but there is no way that we would have been able to do that in less than 10-15 minutes. But yeah, for me, Ben Affleck Batman is the best. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Some of you probably did not. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.